Hi, it's Lethea from Farmview Creators. Today we're going to work on a farmhouse style cabinet from the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina. I have already stained with some Waverly antique wax stain. Some pieces I have stained front and back, and some I have not. I tried to kind of figure that out beforehand. So I'm putting the pieces together for the little drawer, making sure that I fit those into the tongue and groove nicely. And sometimes I mess up on where I put my glue, and other times I've got it good. So I'm also wiping off any excess glue with a baby wipe, making sure that that's all fitted together nicely. Then I'm going to put the front face on. This kit comes with two separate front faces. One has holes to screw in a handle, and the other one does not. I'm going to use the one that does not. I will go back later and glue on a handle. It needs to be about 1.5 inches. So here I'm putting together the cabinet. Putting those sides on first, and then I'm going to go in and kind of pull them out. I love using the Titebond quick and thick because you do have some playroom, so I can kind of pull it back apart a little bit and slide those pieces in. Then I'm going to put the top part. This is where I got my glue mixed up, and just going to wipe that back, no biggie. I'm going to put some glue on that rim that touches the back of the cabinet, wipe off my excess, and then I'm just really making sure that that's like it's supposed to go. Checking out that front face where the drawer will fit in, making sure it is in there nicely. Again, wiping up any excess. And then here's where my drawer is going to slide in. That's the other face that I'm choosing not to use. And then I'm going to go in with some milk paint. This is a powder paint that you mix in a 1-to-1 ratio. I am using a little frother to make sure that it gets nicely mixed. I have tried just using a paint thing in the past and it just didn't work, so I got this. Going in with some wax, some soft wax, just so that this paint won't adhere to some places because I want it to have that distressed look. So just putting touches of that all around anywhere where I want the paint not to stick as well. And then I'm putting on just one coat. I feel like that's good enough. I do go back and hit one little corner with a little bit more, but I'm also heating it and going a little at a time, because with this milk paint, if you force heat it, force dry it with heat, it will crack, it will lift up, and it just does all kinds of wonderful, amazing things when you force it dry. So you can see some of the crackle and all that. And so then I'm going to go on to the top shelf and just paint a little and then dry. Paint a little and dry. And you can kind of see where it's not sticking to some places where I put that wax down. And then I'm just going to go piece by piece and do the same thing, trying to wipe up any excess paint, and just really, I wanted to get the front first and make sure I had enough paint mixed up. So just kind of getting that, and you can see all that yummy, delicious crackle. I love it. And then get my insides, and I'm not trying to be in any kind of way because it's going to be messy and it doesn't need to be perfect because I'm going for that older look. So if I missed a spot, I didn't mind. If it was heavier in a spot, actually wherever the paint is heavier is where you get the best crackle. And then I'm going to get those sides. It does not matter that I kind of bled onto those sides previously. And then hitting that with that dryer. And if you look closely, you can just see it crackling right in front of your eyes. It's just so wonderful. I love it. And then I'm putting down some parchment because I do not want any of my stain to get on top of my paint or any globs of paint to be in places I don't want. I don't want it to mess up the crackle that I've already got. And then I'm going to work on the back. And of course, the back side is where it did the best crackle and flaking up. It was just so beautiful. And probably because there are some places where I went a little heavier on the paint, because at this point I wasn't really worried about running out of paint. And you can see, look how it's lifting up there. It's gorgeous. Once I got that fairly dry, I went in with my little sanding tool that I got off of Amazon and just roughing it up a little bit, just giving it more of a distressed look. I didn't really want to hit those crackling places, but I did want to hit the flakes because I don't really want the flakes to flake off when it's on my desk at work. So then I'm just kind of brushing off any of the excess. I did put a lid on my extra paint. It will go bad, so I do need to use that fairly quickly. And now I'm going in with Debi's DIY dark wax just to give it a little more distressing. I am hitting the crackly spots because it enhances that crackle. And just anywhere I felt like it needed some, and then buffing it out as I go with my fingers. I'm just using like a stencil brush that I got off of Amazon, and I do keep it in a bag now. And I'm going to go in with Couture's Dead Flat Top Coat. It is going to take out any shine. It is by far and away my favorite top coat of all time. It only needs a thin layer, so I'm making sure that I get all the spots because I don't want any shine to come through, and it will dry fairly quickly. But you can see I'm kind of painting at odd angles so that I don't get the already painted sides messed up. I just love how it turned out. Getting all those spots. I'm not going to worry about the inside of the drawer, but I am going to make sure I get the lips and that drawer cover. And then hitting it with a dryer, making sure I'm kind of wiping up any globs that I've accidentally got anywhere. And just making sure that I'm getting it nice and dry. And it's so beautiful. Look at that crackle and the distressing. It's so gorgeous. I can't wait to put it on my desk at work. And here we go with the finished product. I love it. I'll have links to the products in the description. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like if you want to see more.